Hi there, welcome to my channel. My name is Chantelle and today I'm going to be inventing my first OC. I've wanted to do this for a long time, but it's on my 2023 goals. Number 4, make my own OC. Today we're going to be looking through Pinterest, doing a load of sketches and trying to come up with my first original character. I've got my Hanson mixed media sketchbook today. I'm not a huge fan of this one, but I think it will work for what we're doing. I'm also going to be using my colour pencils, and I'm thinking we're going to do a slightly cottagecore kind of character. On my Pinterest, I have a cottagecore mood board, and this is the one that I'm going to follow. I love those kind of milkmaid dresses. I actually have about 6 myself because I really love them, so I think that's the kind of theme we're going to go, and maybe some cute curly hair or something and some flowers to go with it. I think I'd like to do a girl with curly hair. The way that you can blend it out with watercolor is just really pretty, so I think that's what I would like to do. Obviously the outfit, we kind of know it's going to be a bit like a milkmaid style. Face is probably a pretty good place to start. I don't know if I've done it a little bit too high actually, because I need to make sure it's all in. Yeah, I'm going to switch it up. I'm just going to do a basic forward facing face. I don't really know. I've not done like a character design sheet before, so see how it goes. Don't know if that's where the chin's going to be, but we'll pop everything in and see. I need to stop pushing so hard really with these pencils because they don't really rub out. They rub out better than the Caran d'Ache, but they don't rub out amazingly. Okay, so there's a kind of nose. I think I might put the eyes kind of low. I want the eyes to be very, even for starters, but I would like the eyes to be quite big. Sometimes like big eyes look cute and sometimes they just don't look right. I also have this habit, I think you can tell, of making this eye bigger. I'm so sorry my camera switched off. It does it every 10 minutes. And I couldn't see, so I didn't notice. I've added a fair bit, and the bit that I was talking about was basically just me struggling with the lips for a long while, so you didn't really miss too much. I might rub out some of those guidelines if possible. So she's going to have curly hair. I think the ears would sort of be here. I found a reference photo for the hair which I absolutely love, but I'm thinking to actually keep the ears in. I think that could look really cute. Okay, I think I'm happy with this profile. I've kept it quite loose. I'm not going to go too in depth for the hair because I could be here all day, but I think I'm quite happy with that. I think the eyelashes went a little bit crazy and the texture of the paper is a little bit strange to draw on, but I think I'm happy with that. I feel like now we should do some clothes. I think I'm going to leave that sketch in pencil, but possibly do another face and do them both in watercolor. And then I need to start thinking about names and building the actual character. But I think I need a full body drawing first before we can start figuring that out. Okay, I've got the basics down. If you can tell, I haven't done bodies in so long. I really need to practice anatomy. I've been focusing more on faces and watercolor and other things, but I really need to go back to that. Now I need to somehow put clothes on her. I'm gonna do Converse just because, that's what I would wear. I don't know, I think it's such a fun look. And I'm gonna try and do the little puff sleeves as well, but honestly, I don't know if it's gonna work because of how dark I've done the red lines. I don't know if it will show underneath. And then it would kind of be like that, but as I say, I really don't know if I'm going to be able to do that in watercolor. But you know what, it might be fine actually showing the underneath, because then you can kind of see the body proportions and everything. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do another face, but at a different angle. And then that's the one that we're going to watercolor, so it's going to be quite small. It's probably going to be like maybe down here, or I'll separate them. I'll pop it like here. And maybe we could do it with like a headband or something, so the hair's slightly different. I think we've got some good sketches down. I think they all look like slightly different people, but hopefully the watercolor will kind of tie it all together. I'm not too sure about names. I'm thinking maybe something starting with an A. I don't know why, but I like to go for slightly unique names, especially when I play games. I choose unique names for characters, so that's kind of what I'm doing for this one. I would like to have a little bit of a color palette as well, as sort of theme that's her colors, and just figure out this character a little bit, but I think it will really come together when we add the paint. I'm thinking she's going to have quite a pink undertone, just because I think that will kind of go with the whole aesthetic. I don't know if we're going to do the hair a realistic colour or not either. I feel like it could be cute to just go for something really fun and different. I'm not going to go too heavy on the watercolour, to be honest. I want to be able to see the pencil sketch underneath, so I think I'm just going to do one layer. As for the hair, I don't know, I feel like it could be really nice to go for like an unrealistic colour though, maybe something like, I don't know if blue would go. What's her colour palette going to be? We could do her colour palette as the colour of her dress and the colour of her hair. That could be a really good place to start. I would like to use this lovely shell pink that I have. It's kind of looks like this. Yeah, you can just about see that. I think that's what I have in mind for the dress, to be honest. So, I don't know what kind of colour we could do for the hair. We could do like a purple and do a really pinky purple theme. Or we could go a little bit more red possibly, but I think that might be a similar value to the skin tone if I went for like just a medium red. So this has a little bit of shell pink on it, and half the reason I've done that is because shell pink has white, so it will go over the pencil lines quite well. Okay, so I think we're gonna mix those two. Probably the dress will be the same colour as the headband here. If we start with the skin tone again, and then I will just do the dress around it a little bit later. I'm not gonna lie, these faces do look really different from each other. Hopefully when they've all got watercolour though, they'll kind of blend a little bit better maybe. I mean, I'm not gonna do the top one in watercolour, I'm gonna just leave that as is. You know, I feel like this Canson is actually doing okay. I don't want to talk it up, but it's doing okay for the first layer. Maybe it just really struggles at any other layers, because I found this paper so hard in the past. We need to do the hair in one layer, and then we need to do the dress in another layer. I'm thinking we're going to go pink hair. Do you see what I mean about it being quite opaque? So I think it might just cover the lines a little bit better. Quite like that. I think that's cute. I'm now going to work on the other one, and then I'm going to have to create quite a lot of the purple mixture just to make sure that they're both the same colour. I'm just using some alizarin crimson now to try and add those curls back in, because I feel like we lost them when I just covered the entire thing in one shade. I have to do it for this one as well. Oh, I think, how is that already dry, honestly? I had thought about adding an earring as well, but I don't think it would really work now that I've added all the colours. I'm hoping they're both going to stay wet, and I'm just going to add a tiny bit of like a darker purple shade. I'm hoping this will kind of give the illusion of like flowers, just so it looks like there's some kind of pattern on the dress really. Oh, I almost forgot about the shoes. I was going to do Converse, but I don't know how to do that kind of loosely. So I've got this slightly more blue mixture, and that's what I'm going to be using for the dots instead, because the last one just didn't really show up. And that's going to be the colour of the shoes. This is probably like my first or second time drawing shoes, so yeah, I might just leave them until I actually know how to draw shoes. Do you know what? I might do just a really light wash, and that's what I'm going to write everything on. Okay, you know I said the character's name is probably going to start with an A just because that's what I'm feeling like. I had a really dumb idea, which was to do a load of characters all in like letters of the alphabet. So she starts with A and then we just move our way through, and it's kind of like a series, and I feel like that could be really fun. Okay, here's what we've got. I quite like Alexis. Alea I did actually think of before this. I do quite like Addison, actually. Alexis has come up again. I do quite like that one too. You know, there's some really interesting names on here that I've not heard of. Usually like the unique ones are still quite basic, but there's some really interesting ones. Akela I like, Elise, Allura. I want it to be something that I can pronounce absolutely fine there as well. I like Alexis. I think I might go with Alexis. I think she's going to be a college student. A little bit older, maybe like 22. Honestly, as much as like the obvious one would be something creative, I kind of want to go for something different. Maybe like... Down here, I think we need her height, and should include pronouns as well. It's just kind of an extension of the top bit, but I sort of ran out of space. Height, I mean, I'm 5'7.5". I want to say like 5'5". Star sign, I'm kind of thinking something like a Capricorn. It's just kind of what jumped out. I'm sort of going with like the first thing that pops in my head, really. I'm not overthinking it very much. We're going to need to decorate the page a little bit as well with some cute stars. And then we need likes and dislikes. I think that's pretty much everything. Even though she studies maths, she's going to be very creative in her spare time. So I do think something like baking. I'd like to put a couple of different things in there though, like games. I mean, she definitely looks like she could be a Swiftie. So we could do like country music. Yeah, let's go for that. I mean, I picture her as an introvert, but I'm basically making someone so similar to myself. I think we need to spice it up. We need to make it a little bit different. Still think she would dislike like crowded places though. I think that's still a valid thing. Maybe like a cuisine or a very specific type of food that most people do like. Something like, I can't even say chocolate. I did it. I have gone for cold weather, so I've made her a little bit similar, I'm not gonna lie. But honestly, like, I don't know. I feel like for my first character, I'd want it to be someone that I would like. Maybe I'm taking it too personally. Maybe like for my other characters, I can really push myself and try and create like a villain. Because I've really not done that this time. But you know what, like, it's a start. It's definitely a start. I think that shell pink has dried a lot differently to those. Maybe I didn't use enough water. And this is what the final spread is looking like. I've never done a character design sheet before. I'm just kind of basing it off what I've seen other people do. So I'm sorry if it doesn't look like you imagined. I really like this sketch in the top corner that I did, and honestly the paper wasn't too hard to work with. It's not fantastic for watercolour, but it worked perfectly fine for colour pencil. The character is named Alexis. She is a 22-year-old uni student studying mathematics. Her pronouns are she, her, and she's 5'5". She's a Capricorn. She likes baking, games, and country music, and dislikes crowded places, Italian food, and cold weather. She doesn't look that different from me. Her colour palette is very neutral but complementary, and I really like it. This has genuinely been so fun, and I really want to do it again. Please let me know in the comments if you'd be interested in seeing me create another character like this, or if you would like to see Alexis as a finished painting, because I can also do that. Thank you so much for watching. I would love if you could like and subscribe. It really helps my channel so much, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.